Synergy. Welcome to Synergy. Live with Synergy. Live with Synergy. This is your host, Andrea John Baptiste. Welcome to Synergy, where music, business, and culture synchronize.
Greetings, friends, family, colleagues, collaborators, audience, and guests. We're back with some new programs, new shows, new guests, amazing information synchronization on Synergy, where music, business, and culture synchronize. This is Andrea John Baptiste, and after a month of hiatus, I am well rested, well meditated, and ready to go. So yes, I know this is your favorite talk show at drive time, and we are happy to have you. We are so excited to be back on 99.1 WDJY, and we're excited to spend the next 45 to 50 minutes or so with you, living in Synergy, live with Synergy, where music, business, and culture synchronize. And y'all know, I know you've listened to some repeats and some blends and some mixtapes, so to speak, for the last 4 weeks. But y'all know what I always say. We have a great show for you today. And y'all know I never tell you any lies. These shows are fantastic. Our guests are fantastic. And the information that we are bringing to you today is relevant and timely and exciting. We're going to talk about music, business, and culture. We're going to talk about health and wellness. And we're going to talk about balance, because today, I believe for the first time on our show, right, we actually have a husband and wife team. Nubian King and Queen Productions Promotions. We have Ras High and Fire Queen, and they're a Rasta husband and wife team, also known as Eric and Marva Basque. Greetings, Ras High and Fire Queen. Welcome to Synergy.
Greetings, and give thanks. Greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie and Empress Mene.
Correct. Yes, I greet you in the name of the King and the Queen, His Majesty. Yes,
it's an honor.
It is an honor, and it's a pleasure. I am so excited to have this reasoning and these vibrations with you today. So, you know, there seems to be so many facets, okay, to Nubian King and Queen. You all are veteran musicians, radio personalities, also health and wellness coaches, nurse. You're a nurse, Queen. I mean, so there are so many facets to this dynamic duo, this perfect balance. And so I want to talk a little bit, because I want to start with the cultural pieces, right? So the blend, much like me and my king man, my husband, and Rasai, when I asked you where you're from, you said, all over, man. And when people ask me where your husband is from, I say the Caribbean. Why? Because he was born in Antigua, of Dominican parentage, and grew up in St. Croix, right? So, you know, that's a Caribbean man, right? Because he have a little bit of everything. And now he's married to a Jamaican. Right?
Caribbean. Yeah.
Caribbean. So I say all of that because I know that you two represent the Caribbean well as well, Jamaican as well as Trini backgrounds. So talk to us about how that cultural perspective, those cultures have come together to shape your music, your business, and your cultural outlook and perspective.
Oh my goodness.
Where we want to start?
I don't know where to start with that one.
Okay, let me start first. Ras High was known as Manifestation. He had a band by the name of Manifestation. So I met Ras High while I was auditioning bands for a show for Fredlocks in Florida.
Correct.
And I spoke to a few people well, and the bands weren't together. They want to separate this, separate that. And this man, his band came through and said, wow, for Fredlocks, I'm one of my biggest fans in Trinidad from my growing up. So I will do it for you, Foster. And that was how we met. And from there, with the music.
We've been growing
Yes.
together, you know.
And that was 1993.
Well, with the cult, well, being with the culture, I don't see a big difference, you know, because I'm like, how would you put it? Drawn to the Jamaican culture, you know, by listening to reggae, roots reggae music back in 1974, which I didn't know at that time it was reggae music. That my father, he owned a bar, liquor bar, corner bar, and there was the jukebox in there. Right? You remember the jukebox?
Yes,
you
I
put
do.
your coin and you listen to music. And while I'm there at the age of like 13, 14. And I would see these older youths come there. But when they come and they put their money in that jukebox, they will be playing reggae music, right? I never knew the genre, reggae or whatever, but I get to love the music. Actually, it was Bob Marley and the Wailers, Rastaman Vibration. That whole album was in the jukebox. So I would hear them playing it and dancing, and eventually I was drawn to it, the lyrics, the music, you know, it grabbed me, it held on to me at that time. But I still didn't know it was reggae music. I was just enjoying the music, right? Not until I went to the USA, right? At 15, I met my cousin over there, and he more introduced me now to the reggae music and the Rastafari culture. And I just took it from there. And here I am right now, right?
And we give thanks for that music and that jukebox, right? Because yes, I always say here on Synergy and everywhere actually, that music is another language, a language that just really is like a smile. It's a universal language because some of it, you don't really understand some of the language or whatever, but sometimes it just speaks to your soul and speaks to your energy. And you brought up one of my favorite albums, Rastaman Vibration.
And you know, while living in Brooklyn with my mom and getting in the Rastafarian faith, right, I couldn't play a Bob Marley music. But I could play some other tune. But one music my mom and them would appreciate on the Bob Marley album or in the Rastafarian culture, you know, because it wasn't a way shown to me to go, right? So the one tune was a tune, Waiting in Vain. I believe it's Waiting in Vain. So I could play that tune. But if I was to play the Rastaman Vibration, War, and the other, you know,
the rebel music.
Yes. I would never fight. So I'll be there now with my headphones, listening, playing my record and relaxing, but I couldn't play it loud. But from that time on, all other genre of music kind of diminished from me in that sense because I listen to all different music, rock, jazz, blues, R&B, rock and roll, you know.
Country.
Right, so as I said, music was just music. I enjoy it, but it sounds good. I'm there. But when I got to the reggae music and start being conscious and going to the library in Brooklyn, you know, and trying to take out the pity of His Majesty, and, you know, come out of there, that's where the whole Rastafarian culture hold me and finding about the king and the queen, you know, of Ethiopia.
Yes, I mean, we could spend a lot of time in this area because I tell you, music is such a huge draw. I don't know if I've shared this story, but when I was coming up and we used to have house parties and everybody used to bring their cassette to put in the player, all my friends were bringing the American music, you know, at the time hip hop was coming in, the pop, the Cyndi Lauper, the Madonna, and all of that is good stuff. I mean, I've full enjoyed it myself. but it wasn't our music. But so of course, when it's my turn now to put in my cassette, they would say, all right, time for us to go get our refreshments, because pure Rasta music shall go play. That's what, and I was maybe 12 at the time, and my friends, pure Rasta music shall go play, and that was the truth. And me and maybe one other person would be on the dance floor, man, skanking, but that was the music that really resonated with my spirit. And like you, we in my home, in our house, sometimes I hear my 12-year-old singing some oldies or rock, or every now and then I hear her humming to something classical, and I look at her, what you know about that? And she's like, Mom, we listen to everything. Do you not realize what we listen to? And it's true, you know what I mean? Because we are in the house, whatever is playing, in the car sometimes, whatever is playing, and those types of things. And by virtue of people sending us music, we're always listening to something. And for me, once it's good and clean and positive lyrics, particularly, because that's what I want to put into my spirit, it is welcome, So as you got started you were introduced to the reggae music, and then you actually took on the production. So you started off, as most of us do, as a consumer of music, and then you went into production. Talk to us a little bit about how that happened. I know, Sister Marva, you also sing and things of that nature.
Yes. Okay. Firstly, he started with being a DJ.
Okay.
He was a DJ, Ras High Power, and then he went into the band part. As for me, my love of music came, as you said, young, from the party days. I love to dance. I was in a dance group, so it's like I followed up at school, Alpha. I went to Alpha Academy in music. Always having a party. If it's not Scotty's coming or Pluto coming or something. So the music I've always been into, like we always keeping shows and stuff at school. So the music has always followed me. And then when I went to Florida, I started to work with Clint O'Neill at nights in the penthouse. You remember him?
Of course. When I moved to Florida, that was the only reggae that we could find on the radio. So I used to have to set my alarm clock to wake up to hear Clint O'Neill and get the taste of the culture. Of course.
He used to love that. He used to love the company, and he would always say, bring some people in so we can party, because of the big group. So I used to be working in the library, getting the music, filed and taking the requests when the calls come in. So that is where and then meeting a lot of the entertainers are coming, I
don't mean to cut you there, my dear, but a true Fire Queenie, that's how I met Clint O'Neill. Because it was not easy thing, just like that. And she knew she helped me a lot coming up the ladder there,
And a few other musicians over in Florida too, they would come to me and try and get the stuff on the radio, John T, Waves, I used to, I know him good because of my dad. So I used to help once to get their music played, but it's a one-play thing and then put down, But they appreciate love that. And then from there now with Clint O'Neill, he put a group together. My two sisters, Jillian and Nicole Reed, they are they went to school for opera. So I call them my birds. I'm a melody singer. I hold the lead, So with the background, they put us together as reggae muffins. So Clint O'Neill, started our group as reggae muffins. So we started the backgrounds for a few well-known musicians. Casey White. We work with Inner Circle. We work with I don't know if you know Kenyatta from Massive Crew. And bigger. A few bands wanted us as the background singer sometimes at your ranks, So we did studio work for them and stuff. So all the group came together, and then one of the sisters got married and came to Jamaica. So it was just me and Nikki left. And then here comes this little man here with his music. So we just graduated over to his kind of music, because I told you it was manifestations. It was a little bit of reggae, but he had a guitarist who was a little rocky, a little rock player. So he used to put a style in there, a different style of reggae music that he did before. And then from there he went to XI Power, XI and the Power Band, and then XI and the Higher Vibes. So we were doing gigs in Boca Raton, Coral Springs, Miami. We opened up for Bob Marley's show three of the years before they started taking the money. We were the opening band for Early in the Hot Sun. privilege, you know.
Listen, I overs because trust me, I went to the first one. I went to probably the first 5, even when they started taking money, and then it got kind of packed and so on.
You were there then.
Of course, of course. Listen, sometimes I interview guests and I tell folks, and they say, "I did this." I said, "I was there." Nothing reggae at the time, okay. And our oldest children, if them wasn't strap on the front of mommy, they strap on the back of daddy, and we out there with them hat and them sunscreen. And trust me, because
so you actually saw us perform.
Yes.
Back in those days.
Yes. That's why I am telling you that you definitely look familiar. And as I was reading your bio, I'm saying to myself, I know.
That's true. Yeah, man, but that was a privilege for us, you know.
Yes.
We asked to do Bob Marley for 3 years straight as an opening band. So that is where we really kicked off. And then gigging for 3 years we gigged. From Wednesday nights to Saturday nights.
Nice.
Yeah. Even if I had a job, I had to go to work the next day, but I was there, you know. And we just did our thing, you know, and built it up.
That's what, when I jumped in the band thing, you know, while I was spinning the music, you know, doing a little DJ thing there, and I see these bands coming, and I say to myself, I would love to have a band also, you know what I mean? I could do the same thing. And that's where I kind of leave out my playing music now and form the first band, Manifestation. And I start gigging after that and going up and coming up until my mother introduced me to the same brother there, Casey White, right? And Casey
God rest his soul, he passed away,
yeah,
Casey White.
And he was the first one that actually recorded me in Florida. Right, so he released the first 2 tunes that I ever recorded. One named Judge Not, and the other one named was I Don't Want to See You Cry. Right, and kind of leave out him, you know, left out him, and I start producing myself, you know, and that's and from that time on, we both get to start producing ourselves. Yes, man.
Recording, doing everything, you know. Everything. Money not easy, but we put away and do one song. He has one album, you know, 1 CD with about 13 songs. Yeah. Yeah. So we have the first was a 5 series song, like an EP. No, they have it as an EP, but we did a little 5 CD song. And then we did an album. So from there, you know, we just release as we can, you know. Right. But he's a disciplined musician here. We had rehearsals every Wednesday. I mean, it was strict, you know. It was strict. And
you know, music is fun, but it's not a plaything also.
Bad meetings.
You see, you have to really have to big up musicians, because an artist, a writer could just come and write his tune, and he comes and he sings his tune, and the musicians are there. But actually, the musicians themselves, they work the hardest, they get the least recognition. Yeah. Right? They stay there a very long time and back up a lot of artists, but people don't know what they went through as a musician
to get there,
to be a professional. Yes. You know, it's hard work, you know, it's not easy. Yes. And it looks easy, but it's not an easy road. You know, that's good to see.
Yes. No, and you know, I love that statement, because there is so much fact in that. And Synchronize, as you know, that we do a lot of names you should know behind the scenes folks as well, because growing up in a house where music was made, my father has been in the industry for a long time, and seeing the work that he's put in, and most people don't know his name or his face, but they know a lot of the artists that he's produced and he's managed and he's done those things for, distributed and things of that nature, trained. So even as a photographer, because that's one of the other things that I do, you'll always find when I cover an event, I cover the artist, but I make sure that every musician that is on that stage gets a couple of nice shots as well. I may never see them again. I don't know who to tag on social media, but I want to at least make sure that when I'm posting, those artists get some recognition, because they are artists as well. There's just that they're not necessarily the front people, but without them, we have
the front person.
We don't have no product. Right? So I love that statement, and big up to all the musicians that are tuned in. And you know what? I started off the show today and I got so excited to be back on air after being a month off. And one of the things that I always do is big up some of our folks. And so I'm going to take a pause right here and just say, as you brought that up, Ras High, I want to say greetings, greetings, greetings to Dwight Tarsetti of Link and Chain, some of our favorite musicians that are always tuned in. We want to give thanks to Glue FM, who simulcasts this show on Thursdays. Mark and Lisa Blaze, big up yourselves. We give thanks for all that you do. Of course, we want to give thanks to the Rastafari creative community that really has tuned in, shown support, shown our love. Big up Kwasi Bonsu of the Jamaica Music Conference and his queen, Shireen, Dottie Bookman, Ras Maya, and the list continues. Queen Olivia, Empress Sativa, blessings upon blessings upon blessings. Queen Aisha, we give thanks to you. And a big special, because Aisha made this happen today with Ras High and Fire Queenie. And you know, I want to also, of course, give a special greeting to our friends in Jamaica, and particularly Sister Isis Miller, who does an amazing reggae radio show every day on Monday through Friday on Roots FM. And we want to big her up, because women, we must always salute each other, and she has been doing the work and giving a voice to many issues, to many individuals for a number of years, and she does it well, with beauty and with grace and a lot of intelligence. So I thank you for bringing that up, Rasai, because you reminded me that I must always give thanks, and I usually start off with it, and today.
And you also beat me to the punch, you know, because I wanted to mention Sister Aisha and Sister Isis.
Yes, we did it. And Sister Yvette. Don't forget Sister Yvette.
Right there. Oh, synchronize. We're synchronizing, man. It's the vibe, it's the energy, and we give thanks for all of that. All right, so you have some new works. Like you said, you now have a new body of a CD with about 13 songs, as you mentioned, and you've just received the Best Reggae Song Award for August 2020 at the Chicago Music Awards. That's a big deal.
Yeah, we were shocked. The song was written in a space of 2 weeks. It went to that station and they put it on the radio and said, this song is, and then we just went into awards, and that's it. I can't believe it happened in a space of a month. In July, that's what happened. We wrote it, boom, took it out, we did the video.
Right at our house.
Yeah, and as soon as I sent it to Posey in Chicago, they said, no, you're going on the radio. You know, so they put it on the radio for the first, I couldn't believe it. And then, oh, it was so dope.
When Queenie showed me it, I was saying, yeah, that's good. But she said, she's more excited than me, you know.
I'm a Benjamin, so you know how that goes. Serious and intelligence. So.
You know, it clicked into my head after my cranium after a little while, you know. I tell one or two people, but you know, this is the one that is going to let the birds out there, you know.
Because the Zebulon not going to say anything. You know the Zebulons are, they're not going
to Yes. This is beautiful. So you know the song, we're talking about the COVID-19 song, right?
Yes.
And the song is so relevant and so timely. So introduce us to that song so that our listeners here on 99.1 FM WDJY can hear for themselves if they haven't been to Chicago recently.
Okay. Well, this is Ras High alongside Fire Queenie, saying, come on with the COVID-19 tune for this dispensation at this Iowa, at this times, the reality of times. See, so it's much more that what I and I conscious people thinking, the ones who know, the ones who see what's going on. Regardless, see, and I last year, I blessed Empress Menin is the only one I can look up to at this times and any other time to keep an eye safe and straight and wise, always ahead of them, baller than them. You know, we always ahead of them. Them can't talk we, you know. So this tune I wrote now is because reason with Fire Queenie and other conscious people, you know, it just come one day I was playing some tracks, and when I heard the track now I said, yeah, when he mentioned something, I said, all right then. So I wrote that line down, and from there now, I just take it away from there. So I really hope people feel the tune. You know, it's more like, as I say, what people is thinking out there, you know, and I put together, and it just happened real fast, tell you the truth, you know. I just stayed there and wrote the tune probably within half an hour. Everything was just flowing at the time. I never think I would have gotten an award for the tune. But anyway, listen to COVID-19 Take Over, Nubian King and Queen Production. See me? Listen up, man.
Coronavirus, COVID-19, certificate of vaccine ID. Yeah, man. Aha. COVID-19, take over. Take over. That is the day the world will remember. Yaga, yaga, yo. COVID-19, take over. Take over. Leave the whole world under pressure. Pandemic, plandemic. How it look? Them plan it. Who feels it? Them knows it. Who knows it? Them see it. Order, new world order. Babylon implement them order. Rasta man a feel him order. Now yeah man there's a chant out more fire, yeah. COVID-19, take over. Take over. That is the day the world will remember. Hey, yaga yaga yo. COVID-19, take over. Take over. Leave the whole world under pressure. Curfew, house arrest. Everyone in a distress. 5G, police brutality. All part of them planning. Can't you see them strategy? Protest, martial law, vaccine. Rasta money na go give in. Rastafari is crowned the King of Kings. COVID-19, take over. Take over. That is the day the world will remember. COVID-19, take over. Take over. Leave the whole world under pressure. What a catastrophe. Mind-blowing mentally. Man, woman, child and picnic. Locked down in them own sanctuary. Oh, yo. Babylon say it's a virus. Enough of them say it's a plague. Enough of them say it's judgment time. Jah cleanse up the place. COVID-19, take over. Take over. That is the day the world will remember. COVID-19, take over. Take over. Leave the whole world under pressure. Pandemic, plandemic. How it look? Them plan it. Who feels it? Them knows it. Who knows it? Them see it. Order, new world order. Babylon implement them order. Rasta man a PM order. Now yeah man there's a chant out more fire, yeah. COVID-19, take over.
You're listening to Synergy Radio on WDJY 99.1 FM, where music, business, and culture synchronize.
COVID-19, take over. Take over. Oh, yes, it did. All over the world. It's over, but we're not giving it.
You can't take an eye over. Never.
We're not giving in to COVID-19. And I want to say here, plain and straight, and I hope they don't take my slot. I'm not taking that vaccine either. But that's a reasoning for another day.
True.
Yes.
You can go with that.
But the song is so relevant and so timely. And yes, I mean, imagine such a good body of work in such a short period of time. Definitely, truly a manifestation, right, of good works. Yes, So, with that, I want to talk to you a little bit about your world experience, because I know you've traveled around the world and lived in different places, even lived in Ghana for a period of time. So you've had various, again, more cultural experiences. Did you have some defining moments maybe in Ghana, and of the places you've lived, what's your favorite?
Ghana is beautiful. Wow. When I got there, my first trip, I didn't go with my husband. I went by myself with my sister to her ranch for about 6 weeks, which is Akusi, Ghana, the east side of Ghana. And I spent 6 weeks with her. And I'm telling you, sister, I had to jump on my knee. I mean, I went off the plane and went down and kissed the ground the first time I went, because I could not believe, I didn't believe I was on the continent, And I planned the trip with 33 young ladies. They signed up and everything. And Jack plucked I alone and took I there. So when I got there, the Ras, he said to me, oh my God, Jack plucked you to the whole group and bring you. Don't see a blessed sister, because 33 of us were supposed to go. 3, and I'm the only one ended up going. Yes. So when I was there for this, I went and I toured the castles. She made me feel at home, So that was 2000. 2000, I went for myself the first time. Traveled on my own and went, And after that, when they came up with Bush came up with this thing about if you're not with me, you're against me. I said, Ras, let's pack up. And we packed up and head straight over to Ghana, because at that time I was really worried that I was going to get shut inside there and not be able to move. And I got up, man. I got up with all stuff. I lost everything, but just say you always get it back in abundance, So the materialistic was nothing, but we packed a 40-foot container and went over. Spent 3 years there. We lived there for 3 years. Noah took when he went there, so.
Yeah.
That's my second trip. So,
it's really a beautiful place.
Yeah, man. Everybody's supposed to make that trip. And then when I got there, it was a lot of rasses. So it was just like we felt just at home, And we were walking on the street and it's only reggae. It's like Jamaica, but just a bigger Jamaica. We're walking on the street, you hear culture playing, and then we look across and we see it was about some kind of Rasta music. It was something about Rastas. And a bunch were coming on the block, and the people in the yard was playing that music. And when they look over the fence, it's just Rasta. That was one of the moments I could not believe.
It was a culture tune. It was a Joseph Hill tune.
Joseph Hill.
Yes, one of his tunes that was playing loud.
And a family was playing in their yard, and when they look over the fence, it's just a bunch of us just walking down. That's a giant school. I see miracles in the flesh there. I experienced miracles in the flesh. I don't know about other people, but that's the East. We need to be in the East. This is where West have to go. Can't be here.
Yes, I stand with you on that sentiment as well. What a beautiful experience. And yes, I agree. I have not yet hit the continent, but it is in my immediate sightings, vision, and I know it is going to happen because I, like you.
I want to tell you something. We are planning our next trip July next year.
2021?
Yes, 2021. We definitely are going. I just want others to know. If anybody's interested, then let us know, because I want more heads, the less the fear with my travel agency there.
Yes.
Whoever is really committed to going, let me know, because we already have our ticket. So we'll be going. I just need to get the heads to go, because my girlfriend has a hotel over there, 28 room. I don't call it a hotel, resort.
Right.
I won't say hotel. It's
just like how Ali get up on his dog over here.
The river and the sea
and the ocean.
It's in Winnipeg, Ghana. Yes, 28 room Rasta hotel.
So we will talk offline about that as well, because we'll talk offline, because that's something that we would be happy to share and promote weekly on this show, so that we can get more folks to forward with you. And I've raised my hand, as you can see, because it's something that definitely is part of our, not just our desires, but I feel like it's a part of our must,
You have to go forward to go back. You have to go back to go forward. So
yes. And I mean, I was talking recently with somebody about this yesterday. been a Pan-Africanist until before I even knew what Pan-Africanism really was. I just knew I needed to go to the continent, and I knew at some point I wanted to live there and I wanted to have this experience. And it all started with just a teacher introducing me in depth to Garvey, to Marcus Garvey, and having an a love for his vision and what his intentions and purpose was for the Black diaspora. And to hear African leaders now in this 21st century telling diasporans to come home, And so I don't think it needs to be clearer than that, for my spirit, at least, for my spirit, that there's been a passion, a love, and an interest, and now there is truly opportunity, for us to do it. So yes, I would, when we get offline, we will have a conversation, because it is something that I certainly want to help promote.
I want to get to the point where if I could have enough money so people who can't pay, because we are here for a reason. We should have been in Ghana, and we end up coming to Jamaica. So I think it's because there's people here who wants to go so bad and never could get the opportunity. That's not like us in America. We can, fly out or whatever. But I know there's rascals in here who can't make that trip. And I'm telling you, God bless I. If I can buy some tickets, I will be some of them will definitely going.
So let's have that conversation. And synchronizers, if you want to weigh in at any time, you know how to find us live with Synergy on all social media platforms, please. Because if you feel altruistic and want to be a part of it and buy one ticket for yourself and buy a ticket for a next person, I mean, what a blessing that would be. So synchronizers, I'm encouraging you. And when we forward with the information from Fire Queenie and Ras High about the trip, we will share it, and we hope that, those of us who are blessed upon blessed will be able to bless upon bless. I mean, and if you can only bless yourself, do that too, right? Because I think all of us need to touch that continent, and our family on the continent is asking for us to come home.
Waiting for us. They love it. They love us. I mean, it's been how long? From we left in 2006, we're there 2003, and to this day, we have family there.
Yeah.
We have children named after us.
Wow.
I have a little grandbaby. I have to go meet her as Marvel.
And we found others that carry our surname.
Yeah, we found our family names.
Surname.
He was shocked for that.
On my mother's side.
Yeah. He was. That's a miracle. Surname. That's a miracle. Like Jah just put us in the midst of people who, when they hosted us one night, we were stuck in Accra, and when we went to the house the next morning, we were giving them thanks and wanted to know their name. It was Barrow. That's his grandfather's name. Who does that? That's got to be Jah. We don't know these people. And at the end, Barrow, he had to call his mother and Trinidad at the same time. Yeah. Because his grandfather's from Barbados. And that's kind of black person in your family, because my daddy's side is Irish and Scottish, but my mother is Johnson. So I found the Johnsons there. You have to take your black relative home. You got to take anybody with an ounce of black blood, take your relative back home. Seriously.
So I found mine in the capital, Accra, and my mother found
in Cape Coast.
In the first original capital.
Yeah, Cape Coast. Johnson. Have my family cheeks too. He's just light skinned, but he's Rasta too. Locks. I mean, Johnson. I had to go to his grandmother and ask her, and God bless her soul, she passed. But she just smiling. I said, "Did anybody get soul from your family, Johnson? Because I'm Johnson, I had to go and ask. Everybody look alike. We look alike. Walking in town and say, anybody went to Jamaica? Yes. It's something else in that place. Ghana. I haven't gone to Ethiopia, but I met people from Ethiopia coming to Ghana because they had to run out. Because in Ethiopia, you have to pay money. Yeah, so they're all in Ghana. So we can always travel. But once you get to that continent, you're on the continent.
I cannot wait. I feel I'm stirred. I am stirred. And thank you. We give thanks for those stories.
Yeah, she's taking her group, so we're supposed to meet up over there. It's going to be good this year, Jan will. everything gonna be good next year.
Yes,
Pray,
yes,
you know?
we received that. We received that. We received that. So, I want to talk about, because you also have a product line, right? And I want to talk about the health and the wellness aspects, because we started off the conversation, the dialogue rather, the reasoning with the fact that Nubian King and Queen, Ras High and Fire Queenie are multifaceted. There's the music, the business, the culture, and in all of that, there's health and wellness. That seems to be a priority for you both. So talk to us about, what you have done in that health and wellness space, and share with us about the products that you have created and you're promoting and you're distributing, and what we can expect.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'm just a farmer here. I get the oil prepared, right?
You grow the ganja.
And the nurse now takes it from there.
Consult.
Does the stuff. Well, Mama, you could go deep
when we came to Jamaica 5 years ago, returned resident, and from we came in, we've been farming. Anywhere we move, we farm.
We don't want to garden farming,
yes.
Yes,
we farm everything.
Yes.
Even in the little Miramar, Florida, we farm in the backyard. I have friends coming and getting this. So you too? Oh, yeah, girl, I farm. So Ras now came and we've been growing ganja, we have a ganja club here called Manchester Grows and Producers, So we have a club here in Florida, right in the Mandeville area, that we all applied for our CLA license, Cannabis Licensing Authority. So we can grow legally and not be harassed by the police. So we now have our conditional license, just getting ready to get the permanent license for the cannabis. So he's been growing his product. As you know, you can grow 5, it's decriminalized in Jamaica, so everybody's allowed 5 plants in their yard. So we've been doing the products and making. My daughter came from Florida. Her name is Lakeisha. She has a thing called Sensimania, and she showed us how to make the first set of oil with the cannabis and the coconut. She does other products. So we just went to bed with this one, and from that, it's been helping so much people. I can't believe how much people it's helped. It's called Nubian King Queen Products, and it's just cannabis, CBD with cold pressed coconut oil. And a little THC, maybe, all the cannabis are THC. So, and we've been making the oil for 3 years now, 3 to 4 years. And people have been using it. And I have one particular person who have used it for 3 years. She came to my house with a big swollen knee and having pain in the knee. So from she used at my house, she have not stopped and no pain. She have lost weight because she can Zumba again. She couldn't dance. Yes, man, I love it. I feel so good when somebody say, yes, it helped me. Because I want people to feel better and get off the chemicals. The chemicals will have you going for some other diagnosis. So you're taking this pill for this, and then you're going to end up going back to him to pay more money. As a nurse, I know. I went through the hospitals. I went through the insurance company. I went through the doctor's office. I've worked all facets. The last one was the insurance company, United Healthcare. I wanted to see how they paid us. I wanted to see how they were paying these doctors and how they get these money. So I went into the insurance company and I started to audit for the hospitals and the doctor's offices there. With my locks, walking in there with my briefcase and auditing these hospitals. They hated to see me come in there, but they had to friend me up because I pay the bills. I'm the insurance company. So that's what I did. So from here, then I came here and said, Ras, let's do the product and we can, anybody who is sick, I'll consult them and then you go from there. Even Isis got it for her foot. Isis said, I can run to Ocho Rios 3 days. Yes, I helped her. She had some burn in her heel. And I gave her some oil and her mom is up dancing.
I saw her mom dancing.
After the oil.
Mom dancing on social media the other day. I did. Yeah.
I gave her an example and mom said, don't go to bed without rubbing me. Yes, she rubs her mom every night. It's really good. As depression time now, like everybody's going through depression, they need this oil.
Well,
this helps too.
Can I interject a little?
Yes, interject.
All right. Well, we know we're dealing with cannabis and cold compressed coconut oil. We know the benefits of the cold compressed coconut oil and the benefits of, we don't even fully know all the benefits as yet from the cannabis. It's still being researched up to this day, right? But we know the THC in everyone cranium in their brain, there is something called endocannabinoid.
Endocannabinoids. Yeah,
okay. And the only thing that activates the endocannabinoid is the THC, CBD. So more or less, who have never used cannabis product or smoking cannabis, you know, that any cannabis, right? It's dormant in you, and being dormant,
exactly do what it's supposed to do.
correct. And what it does do, once it ignited, it regulates the whole tempo. That's what it's there for. Besides being there to regulate, mean that the CBD, the THC, they work together, hand in hand, right? So the CBD will go there as a researcher. He's diagnosing, he's looking
in all the bad stuff.
He, she, they both look at, you know, so what's not supposed to be there, right? And they report the THC. And THC as a soldiers, yeah man, yeah, go down there and eradicate that. Yes. So THC now goes down there and start
tumors, everything.
Right.
Yeah, we do people with cancer stage 1 through. I tried to tell stage 4. It's not going to help stage 4 because all in your lymph system, which is your bloodline system. So it will give them a more quality of any stage, but it won't give them, a quantity. You know, it won't give them the quantity, but it will give them a little quantity because no pain, they can eat, and you know, it helps them to keep the food down. I've treated so much people, my young lady, I don't know what to tell you. And they come at stage 4, but when you come to stage 1 and 3, I notice that they get better. It necrosifies the tumor or stop the growth. Because I have a lot of young girls on here, I don't know what's in Jamaica, but breast cancer is prevalent here. Fibroid is prevalent here.
And prostate cancer for the men across the Caribbean. Across the Caribbean, we have higher markers than other groups for prostate cancer as well as breast cancer.
Yes. So I've been treating a lot of young ladies in St. Mary with fibroids and a lot of young girls with breast cancer. So we have the tar oil and we have the liquid oil. So that's what, and Feluke, you know Feluke, I took some to Feluke the other day, the musician Feluke. Yes, I saw him the other day. We went by the house and took something. He was in so much pain, you know. So I told him to take the oil, you know. Yeah.
Thank you. And you know, I want to say that has been, I've sat through many cannabis presentations about the cannabinoid system and so on. And that was one of the best and simplest ones in terms of, okay, we've got the diagnostics and then we have the soldiers. And I think with the next time that I am tasked with sharing it, I'm going to take a page out of that book and utilize that metaphor and those analogies, because I think that was just very, very clear. I give thanks for that. So synchronizers, you all know it is funny how time flies when we are having fun, and I have been having fun. I hope that you guys have been too. I hope you too, Queenie, Fire Queenie, and Ras High.
Thanks so much.
It has been a full enjoyment. But really quickly, I want you to just tell us a little bit about what you've seen as veterans in the music space, particularly with technology. What do you think is happening, and particularly COVID and all of that? I like to ask that question because I remember 8 tracks. Some people listening here don't even remember that. And I know there's an 8-track in my grandmother's house, right? So I'm asking from the full gamut, from 8 tracks to 45s to 33s to digital to Spotify.
All I can say is His Majesty warned us to get ready for technology. Remember, he did say that.
In one of his speeches, he did talk about technology.
Times, you know, it's a little bit slow when you get older, but once you get it, it's like when I'm in Ghana, I go to the young children to teach me the language. I go to them and they teach to me just like so it's just like getting the children to teach you what they're learning, because the children pick up faster than us, because this is a new world. This is what's going to happen. We're going to be zooming like this. I party every Saturday on Zoom with TVJ. There's no way to go nowhere anymore. He lays in the bed and laugh, but we get dressed sometime and we party. I'm telling you, that's the new thing, you know? It's the new thing. So this, we have to get used to it.
With the technology, with everything, there is good and there is bad. You know, a lot of good things come out of the technology, you know, and a lot of bad things come out of it also. But at least it serves a purpose for I and I from that time. You know, things can be more stored to me, you know, that because a lot of people don't have records now, you know, from that it was really stored. You know, you can really find that, but you can more go into the computer now and just pull up what you want to hear. You understand what I'm saying? No matter, you may try to save your little albums and records, 12-inch, 7-inch, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, technology, I say everything is good. It's just the signs of the time, you know. We just going with that flow. and be keeping that pace and going forward. You know what I mean? But in righteousness.
Yes.
No? In righteousness.
Yes, in righteousness. Good word, good word. So Ras High and Fire Queen, also known as Eric and Marva Basque, we give thanks for your time and your energy today, as well as your wisdom and your understanding and your encouragement. Such a fullness of a show. Synchronizers, I hope that you have been as blessed as I am. And so take us out to close. First, we need to know how to contact you, how to keep in touch, how we can get products as well as music. Products meaning the CBD products, but also musical products.
Okay. With Facebook, we have a Facebook site on the Ras High / Nubian King and Queen Productions, PRODS, and we have a Facebook site for our oil, which is called Nubian King and Queen Products. So it's PRODUCTS, but it's Facebook. You just put it in. I have my personal page on the Marva Valentine Batch, and as I say, Eric is on the Ras High. I have also, we have Reverb Nation. We're on Reverb Nation. We're on Posey Record. We're on #1 Music. You know.
Big up Synergy for having us. You know, may I say, you have to give thanks. You know. We have to give thanks to this man. You know.
So we're on the Facebook platform. You know.
Yeah.
As much. Yeah.
And but just so. Me have so much people me can big up, you know what I'm saying, but me I just send out there and I love to each and every one, because sometimes you might miss one and they might feel away. So regardless all who's close to I and I, all who's not close to I and I, all who's my brethren, my sister, you know, all who don't love I, all who love I, you know, I'm just sending all that love and energy to them all. They know who they are. You understand what I'm saying?
Stick and stay, and we will hear you, see you, love you again next week. And until then, this is Andrea John Baptiste saying, stay connected with us on Instagram and Twitter at Live with Synergy, and Facebook too. And also, see you next week. And until then, live in synergy.
That's our time. That's our chat. Now it's time to call it a wrap. Tune in next week at 5 for another episode of Synergy Live, where music, business, and culture synchronize. Until then, hit us up online at livewithsynergy.com. Synergy is a production of Black Iowa TV.